Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I know I haven't done a video like this unscripted in a while, but today I will be ranking all the Kamen Rider series and movies that I have watched, everything at least that's on this list. And yeah, as you can see, we already have some stuff on here. We have a lot and have not seen. I am planning on remaking this list when I have eventually seen more of these. So yeah, basically we have, in Have Not Seen, we have Ichigo, V3, X, Amazon Stronger, Skyrider, Super 1, Black, Agito, Fies, Blade, Hibiki, Kiva, G, Wizard, Drive, Ghost, Amazons, X-Aid, Geo, and Shinobi. And gave up on, yes, I have given up on Kamen Rider shows before, just because they kind of bored me. We have Ryuki and Kabuto. Both of them I got about to the halfway point. I think I got to 24 in Kabuto, and I got to about 20 in Ryuki, I think. Something like that. 22 maybe. I don't know. But I kind of just gave up on them. I will eventually rewatch Ryuki when Chef Factory subs it, but I mean, that will come when that comes. And currently watching, we have Kuga, because I am gonna be going through all the going through all the Heisei and Reiwa shows, even the ones I have watched, but I'm gonna go through all of them and watch them. So I'm currently watching Kuga. I'm on, I think, episode 15 or 14. I don't know. I'll figure that out. And then of course Saber, because Saber's still airing. So yeah. So we are going to start with Z-Cross, and I should probably talk about the tiers first. We have bad, mediocre, good, and amazing. So, starting off with Z-Cross, mediocre. I do not remember a single thing about the movie other than that he thought all the show writers were evil, and then he didn't. That's literally all I remember about the movie. Black RX, also mediocre. It was an okay show. It wasn't really bad. It was just kind of boring, and it didn't really know where it was going for most of the show. It's kind of like G-Ranger, where one episode you'd have them being all serious, like, "Oh my God, we're fighting demons here," and then the next episode it's just goofy, and that's my cat. Hello. How you doing? So, yeah. Black RX, mediocre. Shin, bad. Shin was awful. In fact, I'm putting all three of the 90s movies in bad. You know why? Because they're bad. Say it with me, guys. They're bad. These movies were not good at all. Shin, it felt like it was trying too hard to be a horror movie, but Toei couldn't really do it, because I guess they were on a really tight budget then, because all the blood looked like red paint, which is not really something you want in a horror movie. You kind of want your blood to look realistic, and nothing in it really felt that... There was a lot of just plot points kind of thrown at you, which was a little weird because, I mean, yeah, yeah, so, Zeto, it was just boring. Like, I honestly don't remember a single thing about Zeto. It was just super boring. 30 minutes of just, who are these people? Why do I care about them? Okay, the movie's over. Cool theme. The end. J, I made an entire video on Kamen Rider J. I might have to re-upload. It was on my old channel. I'm thinking of re-uploading that video on here, on this channel, just so you guys can see like how much I didn't like J. J was definitely the best of the 390s movies, but it still wasn't good. I'll just say that. Okay, so next up we have Kamen Rider the First and the Next. Also, I will be putting these in like order. I forgot to do that. So Blacker X goes above Z Cross. I should probably put these in order too. This definitely this will be at the bottom of bad. This is J, by the way. I don't know if you guys could tell. This is J. This is Zeto. Yeah. Okay. The first and the next are actually awful. They're probably the worst thing I've ever seen from Kamen Rider, and this is coming from a guy who has seen Saber. Yeah, it just was not good at all, and oh boy, I don't know how to explain. I have re-uploaded a video from my old channel on my new channel. I also talked about the first and the next in a video, and you can see how much I hate them. Uh, link to that will be in the description. Just so you can see how much I hated it. Everything made so much sense, and it was just so dumb. Everything about it was just dumb. Deno. Okay, we're going from really bad to amazing. Yeah, Deno was the first thing from Kamen Rider I had ever seen. So a little bit of backstory on how I discovered Deno. I was a fan of Sentai before, but I hadn't really watched any of it. I would watch the stuff Shop Factory would put out. That was about it. But I would watch the what's it called, Cho Eusai live shows for Kamen Rider Super Sentai, but I would really only watch the Sentai stuff. But I did see the part where the Taros were performing Climax Jump, and I was like, this actually looks kind of fun. This looks like it could be a fun season. I kind of want to check it out. But the problem was, I didn't really know where to watch it, because back then I didn't really know about insert way of watching Toku here, and like how you do it with newer stuff, which I cannot reveal on YouTube if I want to be monetized. So yeah, that I didn't really know where to watch it, but then I discovered KRDL.mo. Link in the description to that for anyone who wants to start watching Toku. Great place to do it. Yeah, but I discovered Deno there, or I realized Deno was on there. I'm like, maybe I should watch it. This was during quarantine, by the way, back in like June when I had literally nothing to do with my life. So I kind of just sat down on my computer, binged this entire show, and loved it. So this will always hold a special place in my heart, because it was the thing that it was the one thing that brought me back into Toku, and is I probably wouldn't have gotten as big in on YouTube as I am if I hadn't have watched Deno and discovered KRDL the most. Big thanks to KRDL for actually getting me back into Toku and helping me figure out how to watch it. That was a big help. And yeah, Deno is amazing. It's actually currently tied with another show on here that if any of you know me, you will know which one that is. When the time, well, you already know what it is if you know me. But when the time comes, you guys will know what it is. Yeah, Decade. I'm going to put this in good. This is probably very controversial, but I feel Decade was really well handled. The only thing I don't like about it is everything after the Hibiki tribute was awful. The stuff in Decade wasn't that bad. It was just kind of confusing, and it made Decade's stance in the timeline of Kamen Rider very confusing, and I didn't really like that, how it basically just changed everything we knew about Kamen Rider. And whenever Decade would return, at least from what I've seen, like Superhero Tyson, Movie War 2010, awful. Movie War 2010, Decade's part, I literally had to skip through half of it because it was so boring and it took up so much time. I hated it. off, but technically that's from Double, but it's Decade's portion, so I'm gonna count it. I say it's good. It would be an amazing if that last part of Decade didn't exist and Movie War 2010's Decade portion didn't exist. Yeah, would be it would probably be amazing. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Double. I am probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I am gonna put Double at the top of mediocre. I'm sorry, guys. I know this is it's such a low show. I just felt it was not handled the best. I loved the first 18 episodes, minus the kid stuff. Actually, I loved episodes 1 through 16. They were so good. I love the dynamic between Shotaro and Philip, and even though Akiko was annoying at the beginning, by around episode 7, 8, 9, she settled down and she became a really good character. But when that episode where what's his name, the Nazca don't bend, whatever his name is, the episode where he left, the two-parter where he left, that involved the kids. I've mentioned before in my Gokaiger episode 2 video how much I hate child actors in Toku, and especially teen child actors, because they when Toei tries to when Toei tries to portray teenagers, it never ends well. And that's what I hated about that Double episode, and that just kind of started a big arc of Double for me, where it just became, I don't want to watch this show anymore. And that continued when Terui was introduced. I felt his introduction wasn't handled very well, and he just was a really unlikable character for the wrong reasons. Like, I've heard Kaiza from Fives. You're supposed to, like, people love to hate the character. But with Terui, I feel like they could have rewritten him so much better to make him a lot more likable. Like, Kaiza's likable, but you hate him. At least from what I've heard. Terui, at least in his introduction, was just an awful character to me. He was just rude, and he literally tried to kill somebody because he thought they were the person who killed his family, but he tried to kill a random person just because he accused them of killing his family. And the episode after that too just wasn't good. But that episode the episode with Shotaro and Philip singing "Finger on the Trigger," that two-parter was really good, and that started bringing me back into Double. That was when I started to pick up Double again, and I really started enjoying it again. But that finale was so bad. Why did they choose to make the final villain some random dude who has literally done nothing the entire show other than be like, hello, I am in this show and I exist. He literally did nothing at all. So yeah, that he just was not. I don't know why Toei decided to make him the final villain. That was such a bad decision. And that's what killed it for me. And the epilogue. Why? Why, Toei? Why? So, next up we have O's. And I am going to put O's in amazing, because O's is amazing. The characters are so good. I don't think really any character is bad. I love the greed and how villainy they are, but you can also care about them. That's what I love about Kamen Rider villains now being humans rather than just monsters of the week, because you're just random monster organizations, because you can't really feel sorry for them. But in O's, the greed They aren't humans, but they take the form of humans and they act like humans, and you actually feel bad for them when they die. It's so sad, especially Gamel and Mazul. Their deaths are so like you actually feel bad for them dying, and I love that. I love when you could feel bad for a villain dying, because that means their character was done right enough for you to actually care about them. So yeah, that I know that was a lot shorter, but that's why I love O's. Forze. This was the one that, for the longest time, has been rivaling Deno for best. And for right now, I'm just gonna put it after it, because I don't know why. I just decided to. Forza came after. I don't know. I'm gonna put it afterwards. For now, this is not the official order. These two are still technically tied for first, but this is just the order they're gonna be in the tier list. Forza, a lot like O's, great characters. Gendero's death is probably one of, if not the saddest scene I have ever seen in Toku, ever. It was just so well handled. Like, you could see, as soon as Meteor was going for that last punch, you could see him hesitate. Like, do I actually want to do this? Because if I do this, I get my best friend back. But if I don't do this, but if I do this, I lose a bunch of friends I just made. It's just such a good scene. Watch Forza, please. If you have not, watch Forza. It's so good. Just, I know it's slow in the beginning, but give it a chance. It's just really good. Gaim. I'm gonna put this in the top of good. You know why? I think Gaim is overrated. There's so many people who think Gaim is their top season. I don't agree with that, because Gaim, it's good. It just takes a while to build up. Like, that first arc, very slow. It takes a while. I really didn't get that invested into Gaim until Orin was introduced. And after that, it was kind of just really slow until the end of, I think once Knuckle was introduced was when it really picked up. But there's just this series has been stretched out so much. There's so many movies, so much side content that it's hard to focus on it. And literally the only reason I started watching Gaim was because one of the only reasons why I started Gaim was because of the Greedon versus Bravo special that was coming out. I thought it was going to be like a whole movie that was coming out. I'm like, oh my god, it's a new Gaim movie, so I should probably watch Gaim. But it was just a 2-part 30-minute special that wasn't even that good, because it completely ruined Orin and Jonochi's characters. They were the two best characters in Gaim, and they're... They were the two best characters in Gaim, and it just ruined their character. But yeah, Gaim, it's alright, I guess. It's still good, just not amazing. Build. I liked it. That's about it. It was kind of boring. I liked it. 01. I'm going to put that at the top of good. If I was ranking this while 01 was airing, I would put this in amazing. But afterwards, now that I've watched a little bit of the earlier parts of 01, Aruto is just so annoying. Every time I watch him, I'm just like, Aruto, calm the heck down. And I just feel like Fua and Yaiba were good characters. Yaiba was just underused so much. And that finale was probably the worst finale in writer history that I have seen. It's probably on par with with Jay and Shin on bad and rushed. It was so rushed. And Realizing Hopper, I could make an entire video on Realizing Hopper and how bad that was. Let me know in the comments if you want to hear a video on how much I hate why Realizing Hopper exists. I'll sum it up in this a little bit. It's the same suit as Rising Hopper. If they wanted to give him a last episode form, at least upgrade the suit a little bit. Like, give him, like, the SH figure art. It at least gives him, like, little blue lines on the legs and arms and shoulder piece and stuff. Or, like, the chest piece. It upgrades it a little bit on the figure. Why couldn't they do that with the suit? The suit is the exact same. There's no difference. At all. And they act like it's a new form. And if you guys noticed in the real-time movie, they kind of just forgot that they had replaced Rising Hopper with Realizing Hopper, and they had him use the Rising Hopper key in the 01 driver. Like, if you want to have Rising Hopper return, just give him the Rising Hopper key. It's not that hard. Just be like, oh, hey, they have the ability to print new... I just hit my mic. They have the ability to print new keys. Just print another Rising Hopper key. You don't need to give them the exact same suit with a different key. They already have, like, hundreds of keys already. Do they need to sell one more at the end of the show? It didn't even release until way after the show ended. Like, way into Saber, it didn't even release. Why? That should be the name of Realizing Hopper. Like, why? Why does it exist? Okay. So yeah, that's the tier list. This is how it is for now. I will probably make an update on this eventually when I start watching more. When I finish Kuga, finish Ryuki. I'll get to Agito at some point. Hopefully I'll finish... when I finish Saber. Hopefully I'll get back to Skyrider. I didn't put it in gave up on or currently watching because I'm somewhere in the middle. I haven't given up on it, but I'm also not currently watching it because I had a problem with Barricade Scrubs' subs of Skyrider, and they had... they had released a new part. Okay, I'm getting off topic. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in whatever next week's video is. Yeah, see ya.